Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be covering Sword and Shield. We're covering all the top cards, both raw and graded, and we're going to cover the booster box prices as well and just the movement month on month. We did this last week. We covered Scarlet and Violet last week, so this week it's Sword and Shield. Next week we're going to cover Sun and Moon, and then the week after that XY, and then we're going to rotate back, guys, to Sword and Shield. And this is the new format that I'm going to use. Well, that's if you like it. To show you the information that we've got. But I'm open for suggestions. If you want more information, if you want something different, let me know. I can change something. But I'm going to give this one a go because it looks better than scrolling through PSA graded stuff and eBay stuff as well. So it's just something different, really. And if you like this type of thing, feel free to like and subscribe or drop us a comment because everything helps. We're a brand new channel. So starting off with Sword and Shield, we went back all the way to Sword and Shield base, released in February 2020. The booster box currently, now I've got this off eBay, all this information. So the booster box currently is sat at £459 brand new, and that's actually up £223 over the month. Now I haven't gone percentages, I've gone for the money side of things, so it's a lot easier to understand instead of same percentages, 10, 15, 20%. That's how I would like to read it, so I thought that's how I'd do it. But again, I'm open for different ways. So what we have here is the Snorlax VMAX Ultra Rare 142. Phenomenal card. To be totally honest, I wasn't really bothered about this card when it came out, but it's grown on me. It's actually grown on me more and more the more that I've seen it. It's a beautiful card. Lovely colourful artwork. The raw is £42. And the graded is £87, and that's up £58 over the month on the graded. So it's actually climbing, and the population is 4,490. And the reason why I'm putting the population on here is because I want to keep a record myself of how many of these cards are being graded. And you're not going to believe something later on in this video when we get further down the line what I'm going to show you. I stumbled across it by accident, and I can't believe it. I'm going to share it with you. So that's the Snorlax VMAX. Lovely card. Okay, next we have the Rebel Clash, released May 2020. Not a bad little set. The booster box price is currently £414, and that's up £114 month on month, eBay prices only. So the boss's orders, which is the trainer, 189. Raw is £37, and that's actually up £6 over the month. So it's not doing too bad. And graded is £104, and that's down £26 on the month. Again, on eBay pricing. And again, I've just chosen a month on month. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'm not going 6 month, 12 month. I'm keeping it really simple and just going month on month so we can kind of keep a realistic track on this stuff. And PSA population 894. So there's not many of these, not many of them about at all. It's not a bad little card, actually. Okay, so after that we had Darkness Ablaze, released in August 2020. The booster box price currently is £264 on eBay, and that's down £6 over the month. So I don't see that much of a movement, to be completely honest. That's normal. The Charizard VMAX 020, absolutely phenomenal card, beautiful card. I love this card. Raw is £34 at the minute, and over the month on eBay there's no movement, so the card is been quite stagnant. Graded £126 in a PSA 10 at the minute, and that's up on average about £10 for the month. And look at the population on this, 21,246 population. I couldn't believe it when I seen that. You learn stuff when you put this information together. I didn't know it was that much. I thought it was like 16, 17,000. It's 21,000 already compared to the last time I checked. Excuse me. Champion's Path, a phenomenal card this. Released September 2020. Standard ETB, course holiday set. I've gone for ETBs or booster boxes depending. This is another thing. I can always involve the ETBs on any set as well. Pokemon Center and Standard to give us more information. If that's what you want, just let us know, guys. So the standard ETB is £180 for this, and that's up £28 over the month. And again, I like to stay away from percentages and treat this just as the money value, so we can all understand like what a £28 increase is. So we have the Charizard V Secret Rare 079, beautiful card. Raw £177, so it's quite expensive, and that's up £104 on the month from eBay. Now graded, $399 in a PSA 10, and that's down £10 over the month as well. Population, another one with a massive pop, 16,660, and a massive amount of population in my opinion. If on modern cards, and the prices again are from eBay only. I'm not tracking this information from TCG Player or anything. It's just eBay's. It seems to be easier for us. Okay, so we had Vivid Voltage next, released in November 2020. These are the top cards, by the way, monetary value in each set. That's why I've chose these. So booster box price is £259, which is quite low for an early for an early Sword and Shield set. Booster box, £259. Up £20 on the month, and it's the Pikachu VMAX Secret Rare 188. Nice card, not one of my favourites, but nice enough. Raw, £115, and that's actually down £15 on the month. Graded is £260 in a PSA 10, and that's up £11. So nothing special on that. Not compared to some of the stuff I'm going to show you anyway. PSA 10 population 10,643. So starting to creep up with the amount that's available there. And again, eBay prices only that we're using for this. And again, guys, if you like this content, feel free to like and subscribe or share us, because everything helps. We're brand new and we know we're on the right track then. Or leave us comments if you want any more information regarding these, because I can always put it in. Look at this amazing card. Shining Fates. So it was released in February 2021. Standard ETB was £79 at the minute. It's currently selling on eBay. That's down about a £5 on the month. So nothing special there. Charizard VMAX SV107. Beautiful card. Absolutely fantastic. Love this card. Looks amazing in a slab. The raw version is £99 and that's up £5 on the month. Graded is £252 and that's down £47. That actually came down £47 from the month. So you wouldn't expect that. You'd expect it to climb. Charizard, Sword and Shield. But no, it's going down. So some stuff is going down, guys. You know what I mean? It's not all bad news. Not everything's going to the moon. And what a lovely card this is. So the PSA 10 population, again, can't believe this. 30,654. Unbelievable. I can't remember the last time I checked this, but it was nowhere near this. So they must just be going in every day. And again, we're using eBay for the prices. Battle Styles, released March 2021. Nice set. The booster box price, £188. Down £3 on the month, so there's nothing special to report there. The Tyranitar V155, the card shown. Beautiful card on his back, chilling out there. Raw is £229. I think quite expensive, to be honest. But it's up £94 already on the month. Now, these prices do fluctuate. Excuse me. If you look on eBay, it's sold items and sold listings and stuff like that. You know, it'll be £229 recently sold, and it might go down to 180, then back to 200, then again up and down. Really volatile, guys. The prices are all over. And one of the big things I want to mention on here is although I put raw, for example, 229, that's what it sold for. Some of the people are asking £300-500 for this card, and there's a massive difference between what people are asking and what people are prepared to pay. So the 229 is actually a sold item, sold confirmed listing, and what was sold. So that's what we use. 229, and again that's up £94 on the month. Now graded in a PSA 10 is £510. So it's not moved much on the month. It's moved £6. You know, but it's normal, not bad at all. £510 for the Sword and Shield. Beautiful like illustration like this. Phenomenal. Population only 5,742. So not many at all in the respect of what we've seen in the past with the other ones. And again, we get our data from eBay. Chilling Rain, released June 2021. An amazing set. Love this set. Booster box price £433. It's actually down £58 on the month. So again, good news if you're looking for this. And again, the other items that come with Chilling Rain packs will be reduced as well. So it's always worth having a look if this is what you're after, this type of stuff. So the Blaziken VMAX 201, raw is £182 and that's up £35 on the month on eBay. Graded PSA 10 version is £772, and that's up £235 on the month. Now that's phenomenal. I can't believe that. And again, when you put this information together and you come across stuff like this, you just can't believe it. It's up £235 in a 10. Now, people might be asking £900 and £1,000 for this card. Now, well, again, guys, that's what I was trying to say earlier on. What people are asking for the card and what the card's actually achieving are two totally different things, and you've just got to be careful there. So if you're ever going to buy this card from anywhere, always worth looking on sold listings. I mean, it sounds obvious, but some people don't do it, and it's just a way to protect you and look after your money, because, you know, your money has to go and get for your collection. You've got to spread it out. So again, PSA 10 population, there's 5,682. So again, I don't think that's many, you know. I don't think that's many. They'll probably climb. I don't think it's many at all. And again, the eBay we're using for the prices. I'm gonna show you something in a second here when we get to here it is, especially this bit here, which I can't believe. Wow, Evolving Skies. We all know Evolving Skies. Released August 2021. Phenomenal set. It was everywhere, guys. It was everywhere for people who came into the hobby late. This was everywhere at one point. Booster box price at the minute is £2,100, and that's down £48 on the month. So I think that's a normal swing. I would say that's quite stagnant. So we have the Umbreon VMAX, a phenomenal card, as shown, 215. Now the raw is 1,536, and that's up £387 on the month. However, when I was looking at this on sold listings, there was a lot of cards here, there, and everywhere, and some were higher and some were lower. And of course, it's all down to condition. It's all down to the graded condition, isn't it? You know, so some of them might look better, some of them might look worse, but within a month, that's the price difference. So graded in a PSA 10, £3,015, and that's up £25 on the month. So really no movement there, nothing to scream and shout about. But this is what got me, because I screenshotted the PSA population about 9 or 10 days ago, because I was checking something out. Excuse me. When I visited it again today, it's gone up 107 cards in 9 days. So the PSA 10 population in this card is 18,611, but when I checked it, it was 107 cards less than that 9 days ago. And this is what I can't believe, because this set must still be getting cracked open, or people probably still have these cards in the collection and whatever, and 107 cards have actually been submitted and graded a 10 in 9 days. Can you imagine that? It's unbelievable. So I know these cards are rare, but they're not that rare. If 107's been sent in the last 9 days, I can't believe it. I just can't believe that one. I thought I'd stick that in there, and that's what I'm going to start doing, guys, with the information when it comes round to this again, Sword and Shield next month. We'll know now how many cards have been submitted, and we're going to have this underneath, how many have been submitted, and we're going to see if that's going to reflect on the prices that we're seeing on eBay. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting. Like, again, if you like that type of thing, let me know. Drop us a comment or like and subscribe. I know I'm on the right track then, because it's really interesting. It's interesting just to learn about it. So next we have the Celebrations, released October 2021. Now I think it was the metal. I think it was the metal thing that was in this set that is actually more expensive than this. But I didn't want to put the metal one in there because I don't consider it a card. So the next one is obviously the Charizard Holo here. I've always liked this, but I don't know if this, in my opinion, I just don't know if that kind of spoils it for me. I don't know why, but it's one of the reasons I don't own this card. But anyway, so Celebrations released in October 2021. Now the standard ETB is £199, down £30 on the month. Now again, guys, if you want me to start putting ETB prices, Pokemon Center ones as well, on here, I can do that as well. You know, we can really get a good idea of where things are going. So the Charizard 4 Holo, as seen here, raw is £126, and that's up £34 on the month. That's quite a significant jump. Again, not percentages, it's all down to money we put on here. It's a lot easier to understand. So graded in a PSA 10 is £450. That's up £117 on the month. Now I think that's a significant jump, and I think that could be going somewhere. That seems to be heading north. No idea where that's going to go. Could end up being £600 by the end of the year, guys. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, but who knows, because it's a very strong market, and there's a lot of this being sold. There's a lot of Charizard in the 10s being sold. You can't believe how many are selling on eBay. The eBay's full of them. It's unbelievable. And again, it's reflected here on the PSA 10 population. There's 29,352. So it's unbelievable, and there's a lot being sold weekly. So there is a lot, and the prices are on the up. Something to keep an eye out on that one. So, mint set, Fusion Strike, unbelievable. I let this go and I shouldn't have done. Regretted it as soon as I let it go. Not the card, but the set, the booster box. Fusion Strike released in November 2021. Booster box price now, 695 quid. It's up £77 on the month, so it's moving forward positively. Gengar VMAX 271 is shown there, absolutely phenomenal. The Raw, £608, up 158 quid on the month for Raw. Graded PSA 10 now, this is what surprised me. It's already broke £2,000, guys. £2,046. I didn't know it was up there. Last time I looked at this card, it was like 1,500 quid. I think 1,600 quid max was when I last looked at this card, and it's now that £2,000 already. I mean, where's this going by the end of the year? Phenomenal, that. And it's up £204 on the month. PSA 10 population, 12,236. Not massive, but quite a few. And you know something, back in the day when I could have bought these booster boxes, Fusion Strike, I only bought a couple of them. Because, did anyone remember the scandal? Whoever it was stole or taken all of the hits from the factory and they dumped them in a game store. Does anyone remember that? And the pictures were all over the internet. If you were in this hobby after that, Google that, Fusion Strike stolen cards. And you can't believe how many of these hits turned up in a game store. Somebody tried to sell them to a game store. And anyway, they contacted the police or something. And they got caught. But I honestly thought that all the cards had been taken. Not all of them, but the amount of cards that were in there and on this table, you thought, well, there's going to be no cards in existence. And I thought nobody's going to want the set. When in fact it actually worked the opposite way. You could argue that there's less cards out there, and that's why the price of them are higher. But we were never told the true facts. We were never told if the cards were faulty and they were disposed of then stolen, or we were never told if they were stolen direct from the automatic feeders that feed into the packs. Absolutely phenomenal. Everything kind of got hushed up after that. But if you came into this hobby after that, Google that. It's well worth having a look, guys. And it's amazing because how that booster box has performed price-wise. And I mean, look at the statistics here, £2,000 already on this. And it's a phenomenal set. And I honestly thought that that scenario would have a big part to play. Maybe it has, who knows? Amazing. So after that we had Brilliant Stars, another nice little set, released in February 2022. The booster box price at the minute is £370 on eBay. That's down £40 on the month, which is quite surprising. Sword and Shield booster box, down £40. But it's true, guys. But I think that's just normal fluctuations in the market. Nothing to go crazy about. It's just normal. We have the Charizard V 154 shown there. Phenomenal card. Never truly understood this card when I seen this first time round. But the more that I look at it, the more I just realise it's a beautiful card, and I don't own it. Typical. Raw is £260, and that's actually up £88 on the month. So that's rocketing up. Unbelievable prices. And I think that's got something to do with the graded price, because graded PSA 10 is £644. But it's down £6 on the month, and that's normal fluctuation, that, guy. So I would consider that stagnant in a PSA 10. But that's another card that could end up being like £700-800, maybe even £900 by the end of the year, if we continue on this market where it's going. I mean, I know that people are screaming sell, and everything's going down. I don't think it is. I think we're just having a little cool off. It's just normal. It's healthy, and in fact we need it. So PSA 10 population, 14,072. Well, quite a lot, actually. Quite a lot. And it'll be interesting when we revisit this in a month, when we come back down, rotate back round to this and find out how many's been graded in the last month. It'll be amazing. That's the type of information that we're going to try and get on this channel. So after that, we had Astral Radiance, released in May 2022. Booster box price currently is £312. No movement on the box. PSA on eBay, so that's okay. Stagnant. Machamp V 172, beautiful card there, absolutely fantastic card, beautiful stuff. The Raw is £118, down £7 on the month. Graded PSA 10 is £320, and that's quite a strong price for this card. It's not bad at all. Down £26 on the month. And PSA 10 population, there's only 4,666. So not many of these around when you think about it. And again, we get our prices from eBay. We don't use TCG Play or anything like that. We're all on eBay, so so we were sticking to one thing here. We're not crossing over onto different platforms here, so you understand what prices we're talking about. So next we had Pokemon Go. Not one of the best sets, but some people still like it. I mean, this is a nice card, but the set was a bit, released June 2022, and the standard ETB price was currently now, is £79. No movement on that, guys. It's quite stagnant. Not many eyes are on this. Nobody's interested at the minute. Mewtwo V 072, this card. The raw is £49, and that's actually up £12 on the month. Again, the prices on this were all over the place, and I expect that's down to the condition of the card. Graded PSA 10, £235. That's quite cheap, that. I think that's really cheap for Mewtwo in Sword and Shield, PSA 10. That could end up being double that next year. It really could. We're in a new era now, so there's no reason why it shouldn't. And that's up £16 on the month. PSA 10 population, 6,309. So starting to creep up. And again, back on eBay, we're using the prices. Another amazing set. Lost Origin, released September 2022. Booster box price, $659. Another one that's going crazy, along with Fusion Strike. Now, there's no monthly movement on this. It's kind of hit a brick wall. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's nice to see it slowing down a little bit. The Giratina V186, a phenomenal artwork, as you can see here. Shinji Kanda, amazing card. I've never owned it. Always liked it. The raw is £424, and that's up £61 over the month. Graded PSA 10. When did this creep up? £1,791. When did that creep up? Last time I seen this in a PSA 10, it was like £1,200 max. So it's £1,791 now with confirmed sales on eBay already, and that's up £429, guys. That is absolutely flying. It's flying, this card in a 10. Check it out. The population, 8,540. Is that enough? Is 8,540 enough to feed the demand that people want this card? Who knows? We'll only see moving forward month on month, and we're going to see how these prices move and how many cards are graded. I'm really interested to see how many of these get graded. Really am. So we've got another phenomenal card here. We've got Silver Tempest, released in November 2022. Booster box price creeping up, £469, up £91 on the month. Really creeping up, that. The Lugia V186, a phenomenal artwork. A raw, it's £255, and it's down £57 on the month. Now, you would never think that, would you, with all the hype and the talk that it's getting, but it's actually down £57 on eBay in the raw. Graded PSA 10, £960, and that's up £36. Now, I've never seen this reach 960 before. I've never seen it. I've always seen this at like £600 and £700 in a 10. So that's even surprised me. And again, guys, when you're doing this type of content, it's amazing how it just sneaks up on you, and the prices, it's phenomenal. It's a whirlwind. That's what I say. Especially when you see the PSA 10 population, 20,988. I mean, that's creeping up to be a lot of cards. And it's already coming up to £1,000 here. Knocking on the door of £1,000 in a PSA 10. But it's a beautiful card, and I can understand why. And it has had a lot of hype as well. So, again, using eBay prices for that. So, Crown Zenith, the last one with the yellow borders. Released January 2023. Again, there was no booster box for this, so we've used the ETB price. And can you believe the ETB price? £234. Now, it's only up £15 on the month, but don't forget, this ETB was £50 for the most part. I mean, I remember going in Smith's Toys, and they had a line of them all the way down Smith's Toys when this was released. I think it was the second wave. The first wave sold out, the second wave, nobody wanted it, and it was all just lined up. I couldn't believe it. And it was still $49.99, and I thought, oh, I'll come back. It'll be there. I'll come back. I left it a few weeks, went back, and it was gone. I didn't understand what had gone on. So again, that was $49.99, that ETB, and look at the price now, and that was in 2023. Unbelievable. Up £15 in the month. And I'm saying that for people who are coming into the hobby later on, who might not know, you know what I mean? Because I like to try and give as much information on this channel, you know what I mean? Because there's people who come in who haven't been here forever. So Giratina V-Star, this card here, the gold card, GG69. Not a bad card, not one of my favourites. I've always been on the fence with gold cards. I always feel weird about them. I've never kind of collected them. I like them, but I've never had them in my collection. Raw is £155, and that's down £15 on the month. Again, that's probably normal fluctuation. Graded, £471, and there's no movement on that in the month. It's quite stagnant. That's it. Unbelievable. But look at the PSA 10 population, 19,723. So there might come a point, guys, where we see a population like this in the tens, and it kind of satisfies the demand. I mean, is that what we've happened here? Because there's no monthly movement. You know what I'm saying? And as this increases, the price actually might come down in the graded PSA 10. And we're going to find this out when we do this, when we revisit Sword and Shield again next month. And I think it's really interesting. And again, we use eBay, guys. So that's it. That's every single top card graded booster box and price update in Sword and Shield. So if you like the content, guys, please feel free to like and subscribe or drop us a comment. Honestly, everything helps for the channel because we're brand new. Or if there's any suggestions that you want to see regarding the content, give us a shout. You know what I mean? Because we're up for anything, really. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget, next week we're going to cover Sun and Moon in the same format, if that's what you like. And then we're going to go to XY. And then we're going back to Scarlet and Violet. And we're going to see what prices have moved then. Okay, guys. Catch you later.